Hello, and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Aleko, and I'm here with Terri Morrow. Say hi, Terri.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terri and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change.
Yes.
So this week, we'll cover an episode of Master of None and one from The West Wing, and we will check in with our challenge round movie. But first, I want you to know that I paid $10 to see a movie in a movie theater on opening day.
Yeah.
And that movie was the Emoji Movie.
Sad face.
Yes.
Disgusted face.
Thumbs down.
Your review is the little pile of poop emoji. I think that's going to be getting a lot of exercise.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry that you could not find a way to ditch out of that.
Speaking of parenting, sometimes you have to go see the Emoji Movie.
Sometimes we make sacrifices for our children.
Right.
But please remind them of that many times over the years. You made me go see that. So, how was it? Let's get your little mini review.
Well, to call it formulaic is an insult to formula all over the world, because that's just... It was like Inside Out.
Yeah.
Only inside of a smartphone and dumb.
Oh, man.
And product placement heavy.
Oh, yeah, I'm
like,
sure.
In a very, overblown way. Or hit you over the head kind of way, you know?
Did it sound, as I suspected, like it was conceived around a conference table with a bunch of 50-year-old guys saying, the kids like these emojis, let's do a movie with the emojis, make up a movie with the emojis.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It sounded just that craven.
Yeah, and, they apparently were onto something, because it did come in second in the box office.
Oh, my goodness. And your son wanted to see it, and Nicole's daughter dressed up to go see it.
Yeah, so that's how it did.
Were there other parents in the movie, and did they have all the same cringy emoji face all through it?
Well, I couldn't really see them, but there was a woman who came in right at the end, like when there was maybe only 20 minutes or so left.
Yeah.
And sat down in front of us with 2 little kids. And I thought, I wonder what she's doing. Like, it's very, this movie's been on for like an hour, I mean,
she's going to miss the narrative complexity.
Right? Like, I'm sure she could catch up. But then it ended, and she turned to me and she said, what time did this movie start? And I said, well, 4:40. And she's like, oh, we were supposed to go to the 6 o'clock show.
Oh,
and
shoot.
She had gone into the wrong, because, it was playing on so many screens.
Yeah. Oh, man.
She went...
See, I was thinking she was maybe really, really clever and had told the kids that this was the beginning. Oh,
right.
Darn, we only got 20 minutes of it. Oh, I can't afford more tickets, kids. We just have to go home. Yes. You were a little jealous of her, weren't you?
Yeah, it was something, let me tell you.
It was something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We can all fill in the blank as to what that something was. Oh, man. There's so much, good and interesting stuff being made for kids, and then there's stuff that's just... The bet paid off. It'll be interesting to see how it does on its second weekend.
Right. Yeah, it was only ahead of Dunkirk, according to NPR, where I heard it.
What are 2 movies I have no desire to see, Alex?
And 2 movies that could not be more different.
So it's like you were wanting to go see... See, this is the family goes to the movies, Dad goes to see Dunkirk, Mom goes to see The Big Sick, and the kids go to see the Emoji Movie.
And everyone's happy.
And everybody's happy. They need to line the times up to make that happen.
Yeah.
Because that's a happy family outing.
That's
Whichever parent gets stuck going to the Emoji Movie instead of the one they want to see is owed big time.
That was me.
Oh, my. Well,
My
you
son
do
was
good work.
grateful.
Yeah, you're a noble effort. He liked it? He enjoyed it?
He liked it. Yeah, he laughed, and he was, he liked the idea of going to see it.
Yes.
And his friend that came with us was like, "Oh, that was really cringy," and he. And my son would be like, "No, not really." He didn't want to. He didn't want to call it cringy.
Yeah.
So let's just say.
Yeah. It's one of those faces that you can't. One of those emoji faces that you can't quite tell what it is. Is it good? Is it bad?
Well, that was the
emoji
entire
with no
plot
mouth, maybe.
of the movie. Just so you know,
was it?
Was about the meh face.
That is who you hinge your movie on.
Yeah.
Is the meh
And there
face.
was a lot of talking about be a meh, instead of, be a man, be a meh.
Oh, wow. This sounds...
Getting better and better, isn't it?
And they actually had, like name people doing the voices on this.
They did. They had quite a few.
That is very... I mean, I hope they got a tremendously large payday and that they are using that to fund more worthwhile projects. I can't really begrudge them turning the Brink truck away for, an afternoon's worth of work. But still.
Right. Sir
Really?
Patrick Stewart as the poop emoji. And his part, I'm sure, took him in a sound studio, no more than 20 minutes.
Like, dude, you just bought yourself obituary headlines that said he did everything from Shakespeare to Star Trek to the poop emoji.
It's
gonna be in the headline, Sir Patrick. Possibly not the best idea.
Until he does something else super dumb. You never know.
That's true. May he have a long life to do dumb things.
Right.
And find something that's going to displace the poop emoji.
Right.
Yeah. Really, really. Give that money to charity.
Yes. So, there you have it. That was my...
Yeah, well, thank you for the review. It confirms my extremely low expectations for that piece of filmmaking.
Quote culture. Yes. Yes, so let's move on from that.
Yes, to something less distressing.
Yeah, so Master of None was we watched the I believe it was the 8th one from season 2.
Okay.
And it was called Thanksgiving. It was a Denise centric edition.
Or Dee Dee.
Yeah, Deb's friend Denise. And this was the first time you find out that they've been friends since they were very young children. So that was kind of neat.
Awesome casting of kids also, by the way.
Yes.
Especially youngest Denise looks exactly like that actress grown up. I wonder if she's a relative.
Yeah, so it was set over Thanksgivings from when she was like 10 or so up to the present. And Dev was at every Thanksgiving since he doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving with his own family. He celebrates it with Denise's family.
Very cute.
Yeah, and I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. I mean, and you had Angela Bassett in there as
not bad.
Denise's mom, who was awesome, and you just got to see the family interaction and how Dev is part of the family. But it was, obviously it was much more about Denise and her relationship with her mom and the slow process of coming out to her mom. But I thought it was really well done and I really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. And liked the way that the having, showing the different years, the way I liked the way the story was told. And, let this be a lesson. The way to get your mother to accept your partner is to date somebody who's really awful.
Bring home a dumb one first. Bring home one who's terrible.
Yeah. I really liked in the last episode that there was that the girlfriend made an effort and the mother was ready to accept it. And they were talking about Denise in a cute way. And that was very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. After last week's was not exactly, not one that I liked as much as some others. This one was very well done. And episodic in a way that I guess last week's really wasn't. So maybe that's something that I like.
Right.
But, very well done. All the different get-togethers, the casting and the
directorial choices, like showing the table from like a overhead view. Yes. Getting to see Denise's room over the years and how it changed. And I liked it quite a bit. So,
yes, that was a good one.
Yeah. So that was Master of None Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And we only have 2 more left.
Oh, wow. I was hoping it would stretch all the way to Dancing with the Stars, and then we wouldn't have to find something else to watch in between. We'll find things.
We'll figure something out.
Yes.
So, should we talk about The West Wing?
Let's talk about The West Wing next. Yes.
Yes. So we watched from season 3, Dead Irish Writers.
Yes. An episode I remember fondly for the couple of scenes of the women getting drunk and having some straight talk.
That's right.
And also Donna being Canadian, temporarily Canadian.
Right.
But I like those 2 scenes in the room. I've watched them again a couple of times after watching the whole episode. Very well acted and well written, and a nice way to end that particular plot line. This is sort of the last of the MS stuff, I think.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I thought that was it was a great one, and as they pointed out on the podcast, the West Wing Weekly podcast, all of those women were nominated for Emmys.
Yes.
Like each one of them in that room.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. They that was a really nice kind of away from everything. Must have been a fun scene to shoot, and I liked that they were all kind of stretched out on the couches,
right, sprawling around on the couch.
Poor Donna then saying the wrong thing, but it turned out to be the right thing. So,
right.
And like Bartlett, Abby had to get to the point where she could acknowledge that, yes, in fact, she did do something wrong, and that the stand-up thing to do is to accept that.
Right.
So, very similar ending
to him accepting the censure.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, because he did, do something wrong. He acknowledged that he did. Right. So, and she really did also. So, as Donna pointed out. And you could hear a pin drop in the room.
Right. Straight truth from Donna.
That's what you go to the Canadians for. Now they would be more polite.
Yes, they would.
Clearly she's not gonna last as a Canadian.
Oh, that's funny. Well, and it was certainly quite impressive that over on the podcast, they got Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister.
They did. Lots of people are West Wing fans.
Mm-hmm. And they used that to their advantage.
They did, yes. That was a nice coup for them. Although, if they don't get somebody from Television Without Pity days to show up for next week's podcast, I'll be very put out.
Yeah.
Because next week is that one.
Yeah,
certainly there are people who should be known to them. So... we'll see.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this particular one, they didn't really need Justin Trudeau to talk about it, but it was really neat.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity to have him on, this would be the one.
Right,
because
exactly.
of its Canadian content. I mean, it has "Oh Canada" played with a flourish in the middle.
That's right. People are singing and everything.
Right.
Yeah. No, I don't mean that. It was inappropriate. It was just
that,
no. Not exactly.
Slightly random, but still, you get that opportunity, you grab it, man.
Oh yeah, you gotta grab it for sure. So yeah, and then of course you get Lord John Marbury in this one.
Always fun, and the matchup with him and Toby is fun because we've seen him sparring with Gerald. But never...
I think you mean Leo.
Do you have a new chief of staff? He's very amusing, and I liked the interplay between him and Toby. And, they
that was
very
a
well
great
off
conversation that they had. And, the way that they both kind of knew what they were saying, but
right,
they had to be diplomatic about it, even as they were sitting in a bar together, drinking and smoking.
Right. Yeah.
They made it work.
He's so much more straightforward with Toby than we see him being in other situations where he's so over the top. So
yeah, I mean, he was awfully straightforward with the First Lady when he wanted to.
Yes, just plain forward with the First Lady.
Yeah, just plain forward. Exactly.
I share the consternation of the West Wing podcast people about how there are not Secret Service agents all the heck over him.
Right.
For manhandling the First Lady.
Right.
But I guess Bartlett doesn't have quite that much clout. Charlie has more clout to get CJ roughed up than...
Right. Yeah. I know. Oh.
But...
So, and what else about this one?
The third plot is Sam and Hector Elizondo and the superconducting super collider.
Right.
Which,
right. Yeah.
Makes a nice third plot. It's another Rob Lowe third wheel plot, but...
Right.
He
got
to throw his weight around a little bit with these smarmy congressperson.
The congressman, yeah. Another, sort of father figure. They talked about that a little bit in the podcast, the dad stuff and the death and dying. Nothing motivates like a terminal diagnosis was pretty much
That's right.
Happens a lot, unfortunately. And it's kind of, it wasn't, I don't know. I don't think it was necessary. Why couldn't it have just been the whole thing it's for discovery, it's for science,
yes,
it doesn't,
right,
you didn't need that whole thing about, and by the way, I'm about to die, you
really didn't. But it's a trope, yes. I guess. Yes, tropes are tropes for a reason. Right. Dramatic shorthand.
That's right. Well, so our challenge round took the tropes and spun them around and made fun of them, but also...
And punched them and shot them and threw them out of a helicopter.
Right. So our challenge round was me challenging Terri to watch the movie Spy with Melissa McCarthy and a small role for our Allison Janney as well.
Yes.
So what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it much more once she sort of took charge of herself and started, acting like a spy and cursing. Wildly. A lot. Part of the movie with the worst language I found much more enjoyable. Mm-hmm. But my husband and I watch a show called NCIS LA, and I don't know you don't watch any of the NCISs, but what we always laugh about NCIS LA is that they're constantly just coming into a place and shooting everybody. There's like a high body count, right. They're going to go check, they're going to go to this hidey hole of the bad guys and find somebody and get some information, and they walk in and they just start shooting everybody. And, right. 10 henchmen draw their guns and they shoot them all down. That reminded me of this. This movie reminded me of that. It's it was a very bad movie for henchmen. Not a lot of henchmen survived the making of this film.
No,
henchmen were falling right and left. Mm-hmm. They were shot, they were beaten, they were stabbed, they were poisoned, they were kicked, they were thrown out of things. Very rough on henchmen.
they were not living long.
No, almost all of the major players survived.
Yes.
Except Bobby Cannavale getting thrown out of a helicopter. But, spoiler!
Oops. Spoiler from a 2-year-old movie.
Yeah, exactly. But pretty much everybody else who's in the main cast survives. But if you were they're like the red shirts of the crime world. Mm-hmm. If you're henchman number 5, you're not making it to the end of this movie.
It's not
Melissa
looking
McCarthy
good for
is going to kick your butt.
Yeah. Yeah,
I liked that more than when she was very hesitant and kind of,
right, and just being so treated so terribly.
Yes, yes. I liked it when she sort of took charge of herself and started yelling at people.
I agree, yeah.
That could have come a little quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she changed a lot.
Yes. I enjoyed seeing her take charge.
Yeah, and the whole, and all of the stuff between her and Jason Statham as the other sort of rogue agent was just hilarious. Like,
yes. I was trying to explain to my husband that in this movie, Jason Statham plays he's kind of a joke, and he's always needing to be saved by her, and he was looking at me funny, like that
what?
Doesn't make sense,
right? That guy,
like, well,
no,
it's a comedy,
right? Yeah. And did you see The Heat?
No,
which was another, Paul Feig, I believe, and Melissa McCarthy, and that was the one where she was with
Sandra Bullock.
And that one was very funny too. But I think this one might be slightly better. But they're both good. They're both a lot of fun
very over the top.
Oh, totally.
Yes, and silly, but it plays enjoyably with the tropes, as you mentioned,
right?
And certainly employed like 90% of the Hollywood stuntman community.
Right.
So
yeah, there was a lot for them to do. And plus a cameo from 50 Cent. So
that's right, all that and 50 Cent too.
Right. Exactly.
Speaking of just completely random.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You wonder, did they go directly for 50 Cent or did they just put the word out? Hey,
right.
If you're anybody, any random music person and want to be in our movie, you can fly in a helicopter.
Right. I don't know.
And he was just the first to sign up.
Helicopter, I'm in. Do it. Yeah. And I guess the woman who plays her friend is in Call the Midwife, which I've seen
she? Okay.
one episode of. So
yeah. I could have done without her being part of the action at the end. That seemed, I could completely buy one person coming out of the office, but too much. But no, I don't know. But,
you have to let it wash over you, Terri.
You do have to let it. Well, I don't think it washes over you. I think it maybe runs over you in high heels and, throws a knife behind it to pin you to the ground. But creative violence, children.
Yes.
Was there creative violence in the Emoji Movie? I bet there was not.
No. I mean,
did somebody get spiked on a pole and then thrown up on?
No. It was all bots chasing, like reprogramming bots chasing your heroes, and then pixels just disappearing, and that sounds
a little bleak. This sounds like a science fiction movie.
There was a trash bin too. The digital trash can.
Not
but
the trash bin. Did they make that sound? And
well, they rescued the person. A spoiler. They rescued the one who fell in the trash. So
before it was emptied.
Yes.
I would like to see Melissa McCarthy just run into the middle of that and stomp things.
Start shooting and swearing.
So how long did that scene go on where she was fighting that woman in the kitchen?
I was
like doing stuff because it just kept going on and on.
Yeah,
like,
that was very, very long. Yeah.
The woman kept getting knocked out and then standing. I thought, is this going to turn out to be some sort of robot? Because how could...
Right. I know.
She got hit in the head with the frying pan and fell to the floor and got back up. She got a knife through her hand and she pulled it out and kept going. Yeah. This is not a human.
No.
But NCIS LA might have a role for her. This is their MO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
shoot first, ask questions later. And yes, I totally called that Jude Law was not dead.
Good
I think that's not even a spoiler because I think it's pretty obvious. Because it's Jude Law.
Right.
If it was a henchman, then sure.
Yes. And Allison Janney's part is quite small, but allows
it is,
for
and kind of
her
annoying.
Dry humor to come out.
Yeah, but she was sort of a foil for our rooting interest. So,
yes, that is true.
You know, all the demeaning identities.
Right. The cat lady. And
yes, but I guess if you watch through the credits, there's a whole bunch of other identities she gets. That some of them look kind of cool. So.
Yes, those are fun.
And interesting weapons that are nicer than hemorrhoid wipes and stool softeners.
Oh, boy. So
she's getting all this gear from the guy, and she says, have I done something to you?
Have I hurt you in some way? I know.
Oh my.
Yeah, she didn't get any kind of really cool, fun tools like the rest of them. Other people did.
But they came in handy nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. Well, you knew that was coming.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. So there you have it, everyone.
Yes.
Spy. And now
very enjoyable.
Terry's gonna challenge me. So what do you got?
Yes, my challenge for you this week. Next week on The West Wing, we are watching an episode called The U.S. Poet Laureate, which is not on my list of favorites. There's 3 main plots. One of them I like a lot. 2 of them I not like a lot. So sad face emoji with those 2. But one of them is sort of famously a response to a situation that Aaron Sorkin had on the Television Without Pity message boards back in the day. He went on and was engaging with people, and then things kind of took a turn. Mm-hmm. So he channeled that into this plot line, which we'll be watching next week, where Josh finds a website dedicated to him and starts engaging with the people. And so it was definitely a response to Sorkin's experience on Television Without Pity.
Right.
So that made me think that for the challenge round, I would like to have something kind of related to that. So it's a theme. You can make it a theme of Sorkin on his high horse about stuff, or you can make it a theme of Bradley Whitford in things that turned out to be not such a good idea in the long run. But we are going to watch the pilot of Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, which was the series that Sorkin did after he left West Wing. It started with a great deal of fanfare. I think the pilot script was passed around. People were looking at it. I think the pilot was fairly well received. The series as a whole, not
so much.
So the pilot has a lot of the same sort of high horsiness that gets, I think, Sorkin in trouble a lot. Mm-hmm, but it is also, very entertaining and has a lot of people who are going to recognize, and the pilot escapes the problem that the rest of the series had, which I think is known generally as the Studio 60 problem, which is if you're going to introduce people as brilliant writers and then you're going to show things they've written,
they better be brilliant.
The things they've written better be brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot easier to make a character brilliant than to actually create a brilliant comedy sketch.
Yes.
So, first episode, pilot does not have that problem. So, my challenge to you is to watch the first episode of Studio 60, which is called cleverly Pilot, and see what you think. I don't know if you remember much about when that series was on. If you...
I don't.
Yeah, it was... It started the same time as... Tina Fey's show.
30 Rock.
What it was called. As 30 Rock. And it was sort of like, I felt like it was kind of like, pick your Saturday Night Live.
Right.
TV shows. And I picked Studio 60 and everybody else picked 30 Rock.
When you were talking about, like, it better be brilliant. The great thing about 30 Rock was that, like, they, first of all, barely ever showed any of the sketches.
Yes.
And when they did, they were, like, purposefully dumb.
See, that's
Which was a smart
the way
move.
You do it. That's the way you do it right there.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to write a inspiring speech for a politician than it is to write a really brilliant comedy sketch, especially if you are not a comedy sketch writer, as Sorkin has many things, but that is one thing he is not. So, anyway, That is going to be our challenge round, and that is going to be our West Wing episode. And what is the name of the Master of None episode that we're going to watch?
The next Master of None is called Amarsi Un Po, which...
Easy for you to say.
Is, I looked this up. It's Italian for love a little bit. Or to love a little bit, I believe.
Okay. Next week, I will be doing most of the script, but every time I have the name of the episode comes up, I'm going to throw it to you.
You have an Italian last name, Terri.
By marriage.
I know.
And my husband doesn't speak Italian. If my husband's grandmother was here,
we could get her.
It was still with us. I could throw it to her, but
right. Yes.
No,
okay,
no.
So that's coming next week. We have that Master of None. We have the West Wing, the U.S. Poet Laureate, and Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. And that will be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes, including our daily speed rounds and weekly group chats. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terri.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.